Hi, Dawn Lewis here. Today, let's talk moving from hobby to hobby business. Okay, this is something people ask me about a lot, and I've had a lot of requests to do a vlog post about this. And I think that one vlog post just isn't enough to cover it. So today I just want to talk about your motivation to move from this thing that you enjoy doing to maybe making a little bit of money out of it. So the first thing is, what is it that you're doing? Are you sewing some clothes for kids? Are you crocheting blankets? Are you making cards? What's your craft? What's your thing that you really love to do? Maybe it's that thing that you've made something and somebody you know, you work with, a friend, a family member has gone, hey, you could sell those. And this little part, this little bit inside you goes, oh no, I couldn't do that. Eventually that little voice is going to be stifled by, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could sell this. And you know what? You probably can. Here is the thing. You are going to start as a beginner. I started as a beginner. It's not like I was born with 20 years of card making knowledge or crochet knowledge or stamping knowledge or sewing knowledge. We all start as beginners. Those people you look up to, they started as beginners too. And so everybody can go from a beginner and build their skills. Now, some people have a natural talent, and you know what? Natural talent is all well and good. It's very nice, and it means that you can probably move faster. But generally speaking, when it comes to craft, you can learn what you need to know. The most important things to learn right at that beginner level is that workmanship is so important. Now, if you're making something for yourself and you want to take some shortcuts and you're cool with that, go for it. But if you're making something to sell, workmanship is really, really, really important. It means that your product is going to last and you are going to have a great reputation. The other thing you need to know is when you're at this beginner level, you must master the basics before you can break all of the rules. So often people just want to be an expert right away, and it's really rare that that can happen. So here's how you learn great workmanship is by mastering the basics. Those two things really go hand in hand. So if you're looking to learn something new or extend your skills past, this hobby phase, take some classes. Find a friend or a family member who has some skill in this area and tell them, hey, I'd like to learn. Could I sit and watch you do that thing? Or could you show me how to do that? And more often than not, they'll be really excited to teach you how it's done or show you how they do it. Share their knowledge of what they've learned. Hit up YouTube. Find some blogs, look for tutorials that are going to extend your skills. So if you're a crocheter or a knitter, learn some new stitches, look at color combinations, find out what's the difference between working with a cheap yarn versus working with an expensive yarn. Then you can start to build and build and build and build your skills. And the more you build your skills, the more you're going to build this body of work that I talked about in the gap video, and you get better and better and better and better and better, and you get to this point where people just are clamoring to buy your thing. Now, there's also, what exactly do you want to get out of this experience? Do you want to sell handmade? Do you want to keep making the same thing over and over to sell? Do you want to join a design team? I've done that. I love it. It's great fun. Do you want to write a book? Do you want to be on television? Do you want to be in a magazine? Is publication your thing that you want? Do you want to just create patterns to sell? Are you a designer or are you a maker? Do you like to do both? These are the questions you kind of need to ask yourself early on. Yes, I want to take this hobby further, but where exactly do you want to go? Now, sometimes it'll take you places you never expected, and you'll be doing things you just weren't on your radar, and that's really, really cool. But if you start with a direction in mind, it gives you a goal, and it also, you can look at the people who are where you want to go and see what it is that they're doing that makes them able to be in that role. So if your goal is markets, head to your local handmade markets. They are everywhere right now. Have a look. Who is in your niche? Are you a kids' clothes maker? Have a look. Are there lots and lots of them? If there are, what is it that you do that can set yourself apart from everybody else? Which stalls look inviting? How are the stall holders holding themselves that make you want to go and talk to them or stay away from them. These are all things it's really good to observe as you're building your skills. If your final goal is to do markers, go to a lot of markers. It's not going to cost you anything. Have a look at the atmosphere. Decide which markets do you think your product is going to fit in well at. What's it going to cost you? What's the time investment going to be? There's so many things to cover, and this is something I'm going to come back and do a lot more vlog posts about. But start thinking right now, what is your hobby and where do you want it to take you? If you have this itch, this urge, this overwhelming feeling that, hey, maybe I could sell that, then keep watching my channel, maybe subscribe, and I'm going to be covering this a lot more because it's something I'm very interested in. I have done it myself, and I will look forward to taking you through a bit of my journey, how I got to places, and maybe talk about some ideas that will help you go from hobby to business. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Have a very crafty day, people, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.